Alrighty then. Toys, hopefully you're still here. Um, yeah. So let me first off apologize to you guys for not being able to have a show last night. As you guys have seen lately, my computer's been acting up a bit. We've had some connection issues for whatever stupid reason. If you guys remember Friday, I froze out a couple of times. I think I froze on RJ's stream the other night too a bit. So been having my computer guy look at it the last couple of days, and kind of funny because I guess what it's coming down to, it seems like it might be my wireless card might be starting to go out. Kind of funny though because the problem seemed to only happen, 5 to around the 5 to 8 p.m. Here on the West Coast. For some reason, I haven't had too many issues throughout the day. I had my computer guy come out earlier today to look at my computer. Um, then took it back to his house. We got it working at his house, brought it home, and then basically I couldn't get on the internet again. So I left my computer on while I left and picked up a exterior wireless card for the computer to borrow from him. Ordered a new wireless card through my friend, and he'll of course install it and all that. So yeah, I've been running around in 90-degree heat today trying to fix my computer. That's been pretty much the extent of my day today. So I hope everybody else has had a good day today. Anyways, I know normally we give it a little time to give people a chance to come in, and I do hope you did share the video and see if we can get some more people in. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and just get right to it, just because there's other stuff I got to do here too, and I want to make sure. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut basically on the main news stories tonight. I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna cover what I originally was planning on covering yesterday, and I'll get to that in a moment. And then we're gonna have 2 days worth of this day in each history. So, as always, I do encourage comments and questions if you guys have them as we're running through this. And if you guys haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. And well, actually, I should let me at least go through the 5 stories we're going to talk about. So, um, one article is going to we got like 6 articles tonight, four comics related and 2 anime related. The 4 comic Bad in the Sun. We're going to talk a little bit about the artist from Merryweather Comics and some of the stuff going on there. We're going to be looking at Marvel Comics' latest What If story. 1, 2, 3. And then the Ascendant story. So those are the 4 stories I was going to cover yesterday on the comic side of it. And then the 2 anime stories from yesterday we're going to cover will be um, season 2 release details for Rising of the Shield Hero and um, Netflix premiere as well. So that's all that's on tap for tonight. Are the stories here that we'll probably get to tomorrow night, hopefully, unless we still have issues, but I don't think we will. Hey, Rick. Hello, all. Welcome to a special late edition of the Mikestand. We're a little later than an hour later due to the fact that I've been having some technical issues with my computer lately. So, anyways, and I do appreciate the like. As always, if you can like and share, that does help. Anyways, let's get to it then. So here we go. All right. So there's a picture, of course, from Batman the Animated Series right there. Bat in the Sun stresses the importance of Batman being in peak physical condition. Article by J.B. Augustine, published March 18th, 2022, which was last Friday. So, anyway, so getting to this then. The Batman is proving to be another popular and financially viable installment of the film franchise, but it still ran into one criticism of many with the fandom. Robert Patterson was thought to be too thin to be a believable and imposing Dark Knight. And then here's a picture from Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part One, the 2012 animated version. I believe that was based on the Frank Miller comic. I believe. Anyways, this belief was fueled by the perception and reports the actor wasn't exercising as he was happy looking like James Dean as Bruce Wayne. He didn't help matters when he confessed to, quote, barely doing anything, unquote, other than jogging during lockdowns. As a result, the debate um, and contemplation over what kind of a physical specimen Batman should be started up again. Everyone weighing in is now telling us he has to be in tip top shape and why that should be so. Now, remember, though, Batman, granted, some depictions have had Batman as historically has had somewhat muscular, but look at Adam West. Adam West wasn't overly muscular when he portrayed Batman. So, and I think even in some of the cartoons, like Super Friends cartoons, he wasn't overly muscular. You also have to remember he's had a lot of martial arts training too. Um, YouTube channel and producers of the series Superpower Beatdown, Bat in the Sun posted an essay on their Facebook page answering the question, why is it important that Batman is in prime athletic shape? Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016. To begin with, the Bits essay um, reminds us Batman values prep time and perfects everything, quote unquote, says the Post. Quote, ever since his parents were murdered, um, he made a vow to protect the innocent. And being human, that means he has to use everything in his quest to protect Gotham. It continues. Let me. All right. So, hey, RJ, the Batman. Citizen is greater than Citizen Kane. 2022 Patterson is too thin. 1989 Keaton is too short. Yeah, I guess this is the Mikestand. Why are you sitting? uh, well, thanks for the joke there. The reason it's called the Mikestand, of course, it's because of the idea that we encourage conversation. Rick, that's why. Yeah, RJ, sorry I missed your stream today or didn't get a chance to like it or anything. I've been having some computer issues the last couple of days, and that's why things are a little screwy with me right now. But thank you for dropping in and liking and sharing. Um, as I'll continue on now with the article. Actually, give me a sec. I'm gonna just step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. Just got to. I want to do something real quick here with my computer. I'll be right back. All right. Anyways, I just wanted to wipe off the screen a little bit because it seemed like got a lot of gunk on it. Is when you play the music. Oh yeah, RJ. I'm sorry, my brain's a little fried right now. Okay, I've been running around in 90-degree heat today trying to fix my computer. So I'm. So let's just say mentally, I may be a little disheveled there. Yeah, you're right. I usually should be thinking about playing the music here, but I just. But considering my computer's been kind of going wacky, which is why I didn't really have a stream yesterday. Kind of mentally just a little more disheveled right now. Anyways, getting back to the article here. It continues, quote, his body is such a huge part of this equation. Bruce sees the extreme value in perfecting his body. It sits, in brackets, at the core of what his mission is all about. Brackets, therefore, his body must be in brackets Olympic level athletic shape. Well, that could unquote. Well, that could be true, but martial artists are not always you know overly muscular. A lot of martial artists, no matter if it's mixed martial arts or like Brazilian jiu jitsu, karate, kung fu, um, taekwondo, kickboxing. You know, you're not always over. Some of them, yeah, they are, but for the most part, martial artists, which Batman is said to be one of the best in the world, are not necessarily overly muscular. So I think that's where a lot of the thing with Robert Patterson, I guess the criticism with Robert Patterson is that they say he's too thin. Um, but anyways, getting back to the article here. His training starts at age 10. Bitts argues, and he should have a quote cut, lean, trained, and perfected body by 20. This would make him ready when he becomes a vigilante at 28 or 30. Doesn't necessarily mean though you have to be overly muscular though. Sometimes being overly muscular can actually be a hindrance. You may lose some agility and speed in that. Some counter that Frank Miller's year one disproves the above, but the post addresses this argument. Quote, for those saying, well, in Batman year one or year two, he is just starting, so he should be with little muscle, unquote, it says. Quote, let's break down just how incorrect that is, unquote. It adds, quote, firstly, stated above, he has been training at this point for 15 years, if not more. His body would be a beast by then, toned, cut, and perfected. Bruce at this point is between 25 and 30 years old. He is a full grown man. He isn't 14 trying to put on muscle, unquote. It explains, quote, most NFL players are retired by this age. He would already be, in brackets, be a beast of a man, unquote. Bitch, bat in the sun, as it were, further points out intimidation and fear are an integral part of his playbook. Size matters here, as they illustrate with an example. Quote, when you walk down the street and see a man 5'10", 170 pounds, and a man 6'2", 225 pounds, it's clear which one would strike fear in the hearts of criminals, unquote. The essay continues, quote, it says, that, in brackets, that in the comics, Bruce Wayne is listed between 6'2" and 6'3", 210 and 225 pounds. Even more so, he is drawn that way. His tall, intimidating structure is just as important as his utility belt and cape. Yes, but as I've said before, he hasn't always been depicted as overly muscular, a la Super Friends and the 1966 Batman series. What's your favorite discussion? Don't have one. I don't have a favorite disgusting sandwich. Just kidding. Anyways, getting back to the article here. If a writer or artist feels like taking those elements away, quote, you begin to strip away the very elements that make the character what he is, unquote, and was from the beginning. Quote, it literally states on page 2 in Batman issue number 1, his first appearance origin, quote, he trains to become physical perfection, unquote, it notes. Then is physical perfection being overly muscular, or is it being athletically muscled? What's better, having big hulking, bulking muscles, or having lean muscle to for quickness? Bat and the Sun's creators understand, quote, fans love Batman for various reasons, unquote, but they wish as well to, quote, honor those traits of his physical power and discipline, unquote. Their post adds, quote, to not showcase or live up to that is a disservice to the fans, unquote. They also debunk the notion if Batman is big, then he'd be slow in real life. Quote, that is factually 100% inaccurate. Well, not necessarily. It goes back to the type of muscle you have. Okay, I'll give you a real life example here. Scott Steiner. Okay, in professional wrestling, Scott Steiner earlier in his career did have a lot of quick muscle power. He wasn't over. He was strong and he was muscular, and he came from an amateur background, but he didn't have he wasn't like he was later, Big Papa Pump. Earlier in his career, he had a lot more leaner muscle, which allowed him to execute moves with more explosion in a way. Because if anybody saw when Scott Steiner initially would do his Frankensteiner, it was quick, it was powerful. He didn't need to be all super muscular to do it either. But then once he became Big Papa Pump and he had all that bulking muscle, he couldn't do those moves anymore. He wasn't as quick. So that's something to take into consideration too there. But anyways, getting back to the article here. Let's see. They contend, quote, just simply look at NFL players. These men are among the fastest in the world. Not just simply running, but being able to maneuver, block, catch, and so. Well, they said catch twice, on or catch so on in bracket. I guess they meant to say on, but it didn't get in there. They continue on this by pointing to boxer Mike Tyson. Quote, furthermore, look at the fighting world and the reflexes of in brackets, let's say Mike Tyson, and how incredibly fast his jab is. despite being well over 200 pounds. Yeah, but again, Tyson, I don't think has a lot of bulky muscle either. He's got more lean, athletic muscle than bulky muscle. Then there is Bruce Lee, who is smaller than Tyson, and most linebackers and most linebackers. The Hong Kong film star, quote, trained 5 hours a day, unquote, to become super cut, toned, and much. Um, no, Bruce Lee was not overly muscular. Yes, he did. He was cut. That's true. He was toned. That's true. That's lean muscle. That's not bulky muscle. What I get the impression is the guys who are saying that Batman needs to be more muscular, they think he should be bigger or bulky muscle as opposed to lean muscle. I think that's where a lot of the mix-ups coming in from. And maintain an Olympic level shape, quote unquote. Quote, Bruce would have the same dedication, unquote, as Batman. Quote, so if you are okay with a Batman who doesn't have a perfect Olympic athletic body, then you are simply willing to forgive key character traits of the character that are the very core foundation of the Dark Knight, unquote, the post concludes. Though going to great lengths to make their arguments, Bad and the Son's writer makes it clear they loved the Batman, the 5'9" Michael Keaton's iconic portrayal in 1989, and that his words are, quote, targeted at all Batman actors, not anyone specifically. It had these same gripes. I had these same gripes about Keaton, Kilmer, and Clooney. Yeah, but as RJ just pointed out a little while ago, um, again, the big problem with Keaton was people were saying he was too short to be Batman. So, yeah. Anyways, he leaves Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson off that list, which may be a good sign for them. Bale's turn in Christopher Nolan's films is often considered the best, whilst Affleck won people over with his faithfulness to Frank Miller's work and the tone of the same. As for Pattinson, it's too early to judge him fairly, and if Keaton or Adam West teaches us anything, history could be kinder to him than anyone expects. As I mentioned before, Adam West was not overly muscular. Um, if you agree, and you probably do, politely leave a comment. If you don't, let us know what you think. All right, so there we go with that one. All right, here's the next one we're going to talk about, and I actually saw that Vera Dark actually reported on this the other day. Actually, I'm going to step away from the computer again for a couple moments, so I'll be right back. And yes, I will remember to put the music on this time. They're saying they want him to look more like He-Man. That's actually what I'm getting. That's the impression I'm getting to ATC. They want him to be more overly muscular. So, anyways, as I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be right back. I'm gonna put some music on for you guys though while I'm away. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I'll try some other music later if you guys didn't necessarily care for that one. But hey, wait, I like the new format. Oh, with the music, you mean? Yeah. I'm later tonight, Woody, because I've been running around all day trying to fix my computer because my computer's been having issues lately. So, anyways, so now we're gonna get on to the next article here. With Merriweather. So, artist Merriweather Comics reportedly receives threats of quote unquote threats of violence and verbal harassment over a comic mocking NFT. Now, as I said before I stepped away, I believe Dara Dark had actually reported on this. All right, article by Spencer McCooley, published March 18th, 2022, which is last Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. The eponymous founder of popular webcomic studio Merriweather Comics has reportedly received, quote, threats of violence and verbal harassment, unquote, over a recent comic in which he humorously criticized the concept of NFT. More! Merriweather Comics published in the studio's collective social media account on March 15th. Mary's short comic told the story of an anthropomorphized representation of the NFT concept, aptly named NFT Neptune, as she searches for acceptance among the world. So, why does why does everyone hate me? Asked Neptune as the comic. Why? Why does everyone hate me? Just be- just because I'm high maintenance. Unquote. She then inquires against the backdrop of electrical power lines understanding is the burning forest, a reverence to a large amount of power required men in their feet. Well, what if I'm a bit bad for the environment? And quote and began further explain. As a news broadcast warned, quote, "E- escalating climate change possibly caused by a direct swing at the infamous 4 to 8 series of NFTs. Jeff Chan proceeds to sheepishly acknowledge, "Oh, so what if I scam people once in a while? Buy my ape. This guy stole my ape." However, as her quest for belonging dragged on, Jeff Chan soon encountered someone willing to embrace her with open arms. "Don't worry, don't worry," he was told by Meta, formerly Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, the company Metaverse, Metaverse virtual reality, is actively looking to implement NFT into its design. I got you. Mark, Mark, woohoo! He exclaimed, embracing Zuckerberg as the company's All right, I'm back. Your connection is bad. Not showing up here. Is on StreamYard. Or are you saying that it's been bad over the last few days? Um, Actually, as I stated in the beginning too, Batcode, I did have my computer guy look at it. I'm gonna probably end up having to. I'm gonna probably end up having to replace the wireless card. So, well, right now it seems to be working fine, at least as far as I can tell. Um, but is it still bad, Batcode, or is everything okay? Just simply because based on everything I'm seeing, everything seems to be fine right now. Well, anyways, we'll continue on here. Let me see over here. Looking at my YouTube screen right now, it seems fine. It was choppy. I was refreshed, and it's okay now. My bad again. That's okay, Batgut. As you know, I've been having issues with it for like the last few days. Remember Friday and all that, so I'm aware things are kind of going on. So I said I ordered a new. I had my computer guy order me a new card. I'll probably have it replaced sometime this weekend or something like that. But hopefully, we can at least get through the rest of the week here without too much more incident here. So, anyways, um, getting back to the article now. In response to another user who proposed, quote, threats are despicable, but I doubt removing the thing that prompted them will make you safer, unquote, which is true. When we've talked about this too, all it's going to do is it's just going to prove that they won. You're just giving them a win there when you give in like that, you know. So got to stand up for yourself more. The artist countered, quote, getting barraged with insults, comments about suicide, and now a selfie someone took with me in real life saying they should have beaten me up is not worth having a comic up, unquote. Quote, I don't get paid to post comics on Twitter, unquote. He added, quote, it was supposed to be a fun side thing, unquote. Well, yeah, I mean, no, don't let them take your fun, man. Don't let them take your fun. I can see his point to a certain extent, but still. Good now, laugh out. I refreshed. Laugh out loud. Good now, rock on. Okay. So, anyways, though NFT Chan's search for a warm welcome has been deleted from Twitter, as Mary promised, the comic remains live on the studio's official Facebook page, which is good. So you can go to Merryweather Comics on Facebook, check it out. It should also be noted that as of writing, Merryweather Comics has not made public any definitive examples of these threats. Okay. People watching Merryweather Twitch. And this is what I was talking about before. YouTuber Vera Dark reacted to Merryweather comment, and I saw this the other day too. Claims saying, quote, when they have a photo that they took with you in real life and they're sharing it on social media, Sending it to you in DMs saying they should have beaten you up is way too far, unquote, which is true. Quote, and I understand why they would be intimidated and ultimately want to remove the comic. It's not worth having the comic up at that point for them, unquote. But do you make a Meriwether Comics decision to remove his NFT chain comic? Let us know your thoughts on social media. Well, personally, I think you should have stood up to him and said, hey, I'm keeping this up. If you don't like it, screw you. That's my take on it. And then if he wants to try to come after me, let him try to come after me and see what happens. So anyways, about 44 minutes already. I've only got through a third of content here. So anyways, let's move on to the next article here. I said there are more articles, but because we didn't have a stream last night, I'm doing the articles that I was going to do last night now. So may actually end up benefiting because for all we know, um, articles from today and tomorrow I may be able to combine into a good show of stuff that is barring, of course, barring that we don't have any further technical issues. All right, so here we go. Here's the next article. Marvel Comics' latest What If series sees Miles Morales take on the mantles of iconic Avengers and X-Men. Article by Spencer McCulley, published on March 20th, which was Sunday. So let's go ahead and take over here. Move over, Spider-Man, courtesy of Marvel's latest volume of What If, Ultimate Universe Transplant, Miles Morales is moving on to in filling in the tights of several of Marvel's other iconic heroes. Here are some panels on that. From Ultimate Fallout Volume 1, Number 4, Spider-Man No More, Part 4, Marvel Comics. Word by Brian Michael Bendis, Jonathan Hickman, and Nick Spencer. Art by Sarah Pichelli, Salvador LaRocca, Clayton Crane, Justin Ponzar, and Frank D'Amato. Or Marto. Mata. Anyways. Announced by Marvel in November 2021, recently releasing its first issue on March 2nd, What If Miles Morales sets out to answer the question as put forth by the publisher, what if Miles Morales, quote unquote, what if Miles Morales followed in the footsteps of a Marvel hero other than Spider-Man, unquote. First issue penned by Cody Ziegler, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5, and illustrated by Paco Medina, Fantastic Four Volume 6, sees the eponymous legacy character take on the role of Captain America, gaining his peak human physique after mistaking a stolen super serum kept in his uncle Aaron's fridge for a beverage and downing the whole thing in a few quick gulps. This is from What If, Volume 1, Number 1 became What If Miles Morales became Captain America? Words by Cody Ziegler, art by Paco Medina, Walden Wong, Victor Olazaba, Sean Parsons, and Chris Sotomayor. Quote, I'm a supreme Miles stan and lifelong Cap truther. So being asked to helm the kickoff of this What If series was a dream come true, unquote, Ziegler told Marvel in promotion of the series. Quote, simply can't wait for folks to see our boy Miles beat that shield or yeet that shield, and how he handles the mantle of Captain America. Unquote. All right. In this case, came Captain America, cover art by Sarah Pichelli and Alejandro Sanchez Rodriguez. Alongside Ziegler and Medina's take on Miles um, as a Star Spangled Avenger, the series will also see 12 Years a Slave screenwriter John Ridley, of course, Future State, the next Batman, the infamous Superman tortured by a sodomy story in Superman Red and Blue, and artist Farid Karami, Heroes Reborn, Nightwing, um, turned the young hero into a version of comic mutant berserker Wolverine. What if Miles Morales became Wolverine? Cover art by Sarah Pichelli. Anthony Piper, Devil's Reign Spider Man Volume 1, and Edgar Salazar, Iceman Volume 3, does him with gamma rays and put him up against the Abomination as an alternate version of the Hulk. And Yehudi Mercado, Ghost Rider Locomotion Story in Marvel's Voices Comunidades, Volume 1, Number 1, and Luigi Zagaria continued on Jason Aaron's legacy of Thor being a title rather than the Odison's actual name for finding Miles worthy of Mjolnir. Hey, Intense Webs, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I've already kind of mentioned it, but I didn't have a stream last night only because I've been having computer problems and fixing it. Hopefully now they're, at least for the time being, fixed enough to where we can see our things. But anyways, continuing on here. Yes. It should be noted that while the four versions of Miles presented in the series are established as alternate universe versions of the character, the concept of the multiverse has been used in recent years to essentially quote unquote preview the upcoming replacement of the original character in mainline canon. Not only does the original Miles Morales stand as an example of such a, in smaller quotes, stealth replacement, but this trend can also be seen in the merging of characters such as Ultimate Nick Fury, MCU's Valkyrie, and the Ultimate Spider Man animated series original Nova Corps member Sam Alexander into the 616. Hmm. Are you interested in reading What If Miles Morales? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. All right, so let me see now. Yeah. And the last comic story we're going to read tonight. And we're going to get into a couple anime related stories here. And I am aware that Bounding into Comics does have a follow up on the Damon Mills story. We'll probably be covering that tomorrow as part of the coverage. And I know, like, particularly Crumb Beyond, Toy Bounty Hunters, Crows of Judgment have all been covering that as well. What's been going on with this? I am aware of it. I will probably be covering it, as I said, tomorrow, barring, of course, any issues with the computer. So, anyways, continuing on with the we're just coming up just on an hour here, so I guess we're making decent time here. Okay, so here we go. Ascendant Star Spangled Squadron artist Jinky Coronado. Jinky, Scooby Dooby, Scooby Dooby, Scooby Dooby, Scooby Dooby. Responds to critics of her art who say, quote, real women don't look like that, unquote. Um, Article by John F. Trent published yesterday. Okay, so Ascendant Star Spangled artist Jinky Coronado, who did a variant cover for the upcoming crowdfunded graphic novel, as well as Ashcan focused on the character Stiletto. Um, Recently explained how she would respond to critics to her art who say, quote unquote, real women don't look like that. There's some interesting looks right there for you, huh? If you're unfamiliar with Ascendant Star Spangled um, Squadron, it is a 96-page graphic novel. It's currently crowdfunding on Indiegogo. According to a press release, the campaign was 265%. Whoa! Well, over 2.5 times what they initially wanted for it. Funded with over 26,000 US dollars raised in the first 24 hours that launched on Indiegogo. Wow. The book's creator, Alexander Macri, revealed that, what the book is about. Quote, in Star Spangled Squadron, we are telling not just the origin story of two iconic characters, not just the origin story of Squadron, but the origin of the setting itself. Yeah, I think actually, I don't know, I think RJ may have had this guy on recently, in fact, if I remember correctly, but I'm not too sure if I remember that correctly, but I'm sure if RJ's here, he can verify that. See? Scooby! Man, I'm baked. Whoa. Damn, this Michigan weed is dank. Oh, bleep. Did I just say that out loud? Well, you typed it out loud, my friend. I said it out loud, but but in a way, I kind of get the feeling because I'm kind of feeling I'm feeling a little worn considering today I was running around all day in 90-degree heat. So, so I think I can kind of get where you're going with the idea of being baked. Quote, it's day zero for the Ascendant universe, and readers will witness the first ascension of the modern era. The first battle between superhero and supervillain, the first conflict between rival teams. Quote, he added. And then here's, I guess, one of the people involved in that already. Stiletto Ashcan for Senate Star Spangled Squadron. So there's an ash can. The name like Stiletto, my guess is she's probably a martial artist specializing in kicking. That'd be my guess, anyways. On top of Coronado addressing her critics, she also provided details on what the comic book scene looks like in the Philippines, how she got involved with Ascendant, um, Star Spangled Squadron, and if she happened to ascend what her superpower would be. The interview was conducted by Ascendant Star Spangled Squadron creator Alexander McCree and provided to Bounding in the Comics as an exclusive. Along with the interview, McCree provided an exclusive first look at a number of pages for an ashcan focused on the superhero Stiletto, which is available to purchase as an add-on via Indiegogo campaign for the graphic novel. So I guess this is This right here is Jinky Coronado. Right here. This is what she looks like. She's quite an attractive young lady right there. Quite an attractive young lady. Alexandra. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess this is part of the interview here. Um, Alexander Markree, AM. Tell us about your background in comics. How did you get started? What are some of the books you've worked on? Jinky Coronado, JC. I'm from Iloilo, Philippines, where I read all of the local comics published there. Anthology stories. I even bought comics and made a little business of renting them out to people. I loved comics. 22 years ago, I attended a free creating comics seminar in Manila. David Compty of Glasshouse Graphics was the teacher. I attended up learning a lot, went to every seminar he taught, and even married the guy. Ah, that's an interesting piece of news. After I moved to the US, I focused on creating comic book, sort of, based on my life, Bonsai Girl. That is, having another collection of my work released this year. Besides 2 decades of Bonsai Girl, on and off, I've drawn comics for Archie and for Xenoscope. Very interesting. Several volumes of Avalon High with best-selling author Meg Cabot, some Dark Hunter stuff for Sherilyn Kenyon, a bunch of exposure stories in the vein of X-Files, some Markiplier Markiplier stories for the YouTube star supernatural romance series called Pandora's Blogs, and now some work on Ascendant. There's more, but that's a good start. Here's some of the ash again right here. And what is your drawing process? Do you prefer to work with traditional media or do you work digitally? Although I have a Wacom Cintiq at my desk, I don't use it for comic art. I have a big, heavy light table I bought in Brazil many years ago. Really sturdy, really sturdy. I still draw on paper. My method is to do a bunch of pencils on tracing paper, um, trying different taping taping it all together, and I take a fresh sheet of Bristol board, light bulb, still using pencils, but I draw with an S to make it look inked. When I'm done, I scan it and send it to my brother PJ or PG, um, who cleans and finishes it in Photoshop so it all looks like this. All right, let's see. Looks like you got some sun or stabbing people with cheap Italian knives. On my finger, dude. I'm good. Thank you. Anyways, I'm gonna step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Let me put on some music for you guys while I get away. I'll be right back. All right. So yeah, I eventually figured it out, RJ. Like tonight, they pulled the mangled body from the twisted wreckage. Looked like this. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Tell him large Margie. Thank you. All right. Well, anyways, getting back to the article here. Uh, AM or Alexander Mark Mockery, as it were. Like RJ, I think didn't you? Oh, actually, no, that was the previous story. Sorry about that. Actually, no, no, wait a minute. No, I think it was this one. Didn't you have this guy on your stream recently? Anyways, you have a reputation for drawing very sexy characters. Pinup style comic art has become controversial in recent years. If you had to quote unquote tame it down lately, which publishers still embrace your style? JC, Jinky Coronado. Someone has a problem with a pretty girl drawing pretty girls. It is indeed their problem, not mine. Yay! Hey! You tell him, Jinky. You tell him. Wow. Let me read that one again. If someone has a problem with a pretty girl drawing pretty girls, it is indeed their problem, not mine. Yeah. You tell them there, girl. If they don't like it, they're not my audience, so they can move on to something more suiting their likes. I don't like sandwiches much, but I don't stop other people from eating sandwiches. Wow! Who wants to meet this lovely lady? You know it. Anyways. I won a bunch of beauty pageants before getting married and was a calendar model and FHM lingerie um, model after getting married. So I obviously have no problem with sexy stuff. Understand too that I can work in several styles. I can draw a cartoon style. I can do a sexy style that looks sort of like Dean Eagle mixed with J. Scott Campbell. And I have a clean, pretty, real style without such exaggeration. So it's never a matter of taming anything down. It's delivering a style the editors hired me to draw. Avalon High looked nothing like exposure. Archie stuff doesn't look like Pandora's blogs. Hey RJ, maybe you should have this young lady on your stream. It sounds like she'd be real cool to talk to. Alexander Mark Tree. How do people react to your art when you share it online? Jinky Coronado. My fans love it. I even launched a Kickstarter for Bonsai Girl last month that reached its funding goal in 17 minutes. So I must be doing something right. Moving on to the next question and answer. AM, how would you reply to someone who criticizes your illustrations by saying, quote, real women don't look like that, unquote? JC, it's a two-level answer. First, have they ever watched a beauty pageant? Checked out the women on Instagram? Real women do look like that. Second, we're not drawing average women. We're drawing make believe characters who fly, people with powers, and from other dimensions and other worlds. They can accept people shooting power beams out of their fingers, but if those people have long fingernails or can run in high heels, that's crossed the line. I have long fingernails and can run in high heels. But, by the way, yeah, RJ, you should really try to get this young lady on your stream. That would be real cool to see an interview with her. Hell, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so Jingy Coronado does the cover art for Ascendant Star Spangled Squadron funding now on Indiegogo, and then there's the address. I'm sure that address is up on the yep, right there. Thank you, RJ, for pulling that up. So as we get back, and we're past the hour mark, of course. Getting back to the article here. AM, you and several other artists on the project are Filipino. What is the comic book scene like there? Is there a distinct Filipino comic book style? Is it more like Western or manga style? JC. When I started, and for decades leading up to that, there was the quote classic Filipino style unquote that was best shown in the U.S. by Nestor Redondo, Alfredo Alcala, Tony de Zuniga, and Rude Nibres. Over the past couple of decades, the Filipinos, many of them trained by Glasshouse, developed their own versions of more Americanized styles. Some incorporate manga and anime elements, others European influences. It's become much more global. AM, what would you say to aspiring artists who want to break into comics? JC, learn from what's come before you. Don't reinvent the wheel. I think there are a lot of Marvel and DC artists who need to hear that line. Don't reinvent the wheel. uh, you can get uh, so much out of studying the best who came before you, and that's true because, as you guys know, you guys have been here on Friday night with Batgoat and I. We look at the writing from the past, comic book writing, to see how that learning some cool stuff there on word usage and all that. And that means go back 50 years, not just five. There's a whole history of comics that should be part of your learning, which we do every Friday night at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Mikestand. Hopefully you all come out for that as well. AM, how did you get involved in the Ascendant Star Spangled Squadron project? JC, author Alexander. So she's now telling him author Alexander McCree approached Glasshouse Graphics about artists who could do sexy styles, but could also do action, and I was on that list. I read Alex's concept and when and wanted to draw for it. I wish I'd had time to draw his entire graphic novel. It's great. Who are your favorite characters from among the Star Spangled Squadron? Asked Alexander AM. JC, Stiletto, the bad guy being a good guy despite herself, and Aurora. I really want to know her story. I wish she had her story in that first graphic novel. I think I was the first artist to draw them both, and I loved their outfits. AM, if you ascended, who would you become and what superpowers would you have? JC, wow, I'm already Bonsai Girl, so wouldn't I be cheating on myself? Laughs, in any case, I wouldn't mind the power to remove selfishness from people's hearts. That all by itself would change the world. If I could change the world, I would be your sunlight in your universe. If I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world, baby, if I could change. Okay, so Ascendant Star Spangled Squadron has currently raised 32,627 US dollars, 249 backers. There are 24 days left in the campaign. What do you make of Jinky Coronado's response to critics regarding her art style? Do you plan on backing? Sounds like a pretty cool person. Sounds like a pretty good book, too. So, anyways, as we will continue now, we got a couple anime stories to go through. And then we have a special double dose of history since we weren't able to broadcast yesterday. We'll be doing 2 days of Nietzsche history over the tonight. So, but before we get there, let's get to a couple of anime stories that I meant to get to yesterday here. All right. Anyways, Rising of the Shield Hero reveals official season 2 release date. Our article written by Spencer Bakuli, published last Friday the 18th. So here we go. The return of Naofumi, Raphtalia, Philo, and their adventures across the sword and sorcery world of the Rising of the Shield Hero is just under a month away. There's one of the characters right there. The trailer for it. As announced by the Rising of the Shield Hero official Twitter account, second season of the popular anime adaptation of Aneko Usagi's original light novel series will begin its Japanese broadcast on Wednesday, April 6th. I think that's just about a couple weeks away, I believe. And it'll be a couple weeks tomorrow. A couple weeks from tomorrow. Thanks to its licensing by the anime streaming giant, The Rising of the Shield Heroes second season will also receive a simulcast for English viewers, courtesy of Crunchyroll. Adapting the Spirit Tortoise story from the light novel's sixth volume, Season 2 of Rising of the Shield Hero will see the aforementioned trio of heroes and their allies set out to stop the Guardian Beast and its familiars from destroying the world. The previous key visual released by the series production team shows the season's protagonists preparing to meet their massive foe in battle. The Rising of the Shield Heroes second season will also see the return of series principal voice cast, including Kaito Ishikawa as Naofumi. This is a Japanese cast, of course. Asami Seto as Raphtalia, and Rina Hiyaka as Philo, as well as the introduction of Kana Hanazawa from Shiaki Nanami Danganronpa series as the physical manifestation of the spirit tortoise soul, Ost Horai. Also reprising their roles are Yoshisugu Matsuoka as Ren Amaki, Makoto Takahashi as Motoyasu Kitamura, Yoshitaka Yamaya as Itsuki Kawasumi, Maya Uchida as Melty, and Ikuko Inoue as Nerelia. Further, both Mad Kid and Chai Fujikawa, who provided both of last season's opening and ending themes, are returning to provide new intro and outro music. Mad Kid's Bring Back will open the show. Fujikawa's User Renai will end each episode for the foreseeable future. However, in the face of these numerous returns, season 1 director Takao Abo declined to be one of them. As such, he will be replaced in the role by Masato Jinbo, whose portfolio includes such anime directorial work as Chaos Child, Senryu Shoujo, and Watamote. Are you excited about the return of Rising of the Shield Hero? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. So, anyways, and we do have one more. Now it's saying that there are 0 people here. Anyways. All right. Anyways, moving on to the next article here. Last main article of the evening. Let's see where we at on time here. Hour 26. So there we go. Netflix announces Tekken Bloodline anime series for premiere in 2022. Article by Spencer McCulley, published March 20th, 2022, which was Sunday. Let's go ahead and take a look here at what this has to say. Heihachi Jin and a whole host of the King of the Iron Fist tournament's regular entrants are set to get their second shot in the animated adaptation ring, as Netflix has announced Tekken Bloodline, a new anime based on the popular Bandai Namco fighting games series of the same name. Revealed on March 19th, which was last Saturday, with a short minute and a half long teaser trailer, Tekken Bloodline will focus on Jin Kazama, the series' primary protagonist since his debut in Tekken 3. The youngest member of the Mishima bloodline, Kazama's story in the games follows the quest to put an end to his family's legacy of evil once and for all the while battling his inherent born possession by the villainous devil gene. In quotes, power is everything, quotes the opening of the series synopsis, provided by Netflix. Quote, Gene Kazama learned the family self-defense arts, Kazama style traditional martial arts, from his mother at an early age. Even so, he was powerless when a monstrous evil suddenly appeared, destroying everything dear to him, changing his life forever, unquote. Quote, angry at himself for being unable to stop it, Gene vowed revenge and sought absolute power to exact it, unquote. It continues, quote, his quest will lead to the ultimate battle on a global stage, the King of the Iron Fist tournament. Sounds somewhat similar to Shenmue, the animation right now. Similar elements to it. While plot details on Tekken Bloodline are currently being kept tight-lipped, given that the teaser's two key moments are established moments within the original game's canon. Gene's mother being attacked by an ogre on his 15th birthday, and the subsequent training by Heihachi, it seems the series will attempt to remain faithful to its source material. Aside from Jinjun and Heihachi, other Tekken fighters seen in the trailer include the hot-headed American Street Fighter Paul Phoenix, the New York City-based anti-gangland crusader Leroy, Jin's father and former series lead Kazuya Mishima, and iconic series luchador King. As noted above, Tekken Bloodlines will mark the second proper anime outing the franchise received in animated CGI film Tekken Blood Vengeance in 2011 for Tekken. And then here's Tekken the motion picture back in 1998 by Studio Dean. The first Tekken the motion picture was released by Namco in 1998, produced by Konosuba Animation Studio, Studio Dean. The hour-long OVA was a loose adaptation of the first three games in the series, beginning with Heihachi's throwing of a young Kazuya off a cliff after deeming him to be too weak to carry on the bloodline, and ending with June and Gene's retreat into the forest to live. All right, so it appeared that the connection went out for a moment there. Now it came back. I was unaware of that, but anyways, continuing on here. Hopefully that will be just one little hiccup there, but so anyways, let's see where we're at here. Okay. Tekken Bloodlines is currently set for release sometime in 2022. Are you excited to see Tekken get another shot at an anime adaptation? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. All right, so there we go with that one. So we're done with all the main articles tonight. So there we go with that one. We're at an hour 32, so that seems to be good. All right, so how's everybody doing? Are people still here, or I think we'll start to wind down a bit here and get to this day in each history, unless anybody's got anything more they'd like to say about what we've read tonight. All right. All right, going once, going twice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start winding down, guys. Um, Now, since again I didn't have a stream yesterday, we're gonna do 2 days worth um, of this day in each history. So we're gonna go back over a couple of days worth here. So first off, going back to yesterday being Monday, March 21st, 2022. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. History. Gotta make sure I have. All right, yeah, that's the right one. Right. So on this day in each history, um, on this day back in 2001, 21 years ago today, the 10th issue of Scorn from CrossGen went on sale on this day. Um, Sold for $2.95, and had a page count of 32 pages. So on this date, 21 years ago today, Scorn issue number 10 from CrossGen went on sale on this date. So there we go with that one. And now going on to or on yesterday's date, mind you. That was yesterday's date, March 21st, 2001. Score number 10 went on sale. Going on to the next piece of niche history from March 21st. On this date in 2000, or I'm sorry, not on this date, on yesterday's date in 2012, which was 10 years ago yesterday, the the OVA A Channel Smile premiered on that date, from Studio Gokumi. So Studio Gokumi's A Channel Smile when was released on yesterday's date 10 years ago in 2012. There we go with that one. And also on yesterday's date, back 5 years ago, yesterday, 5 years ago, yesterday, March 21st, 2017, um, on WWE SmackDown, the Usos defeated American Alpha for the SmackDown WWE Tag Team Championships on SmackDown. So at the SmackDown tapings on Tuesday, March 21st, 2017, 5 years ago, yesterday, the Usos defeated American Alpha. So there you go with that one. Now getting ready to move on to today's date. Today being March 22nd, 2022. We will get to all that in a moment here. So, right. So first off, I head back 75 years ago today. As soon as I we're gonna head back 75 years ago today. As on this date, 75 years ago today, Warner Brothers Merry Melodies cartoon A Hair Grows in Manhattan, directed by Fritz Frayling and, of course, starring Bugs Bunny, was released into theaters on this date um, in 1947. So 75 years ago today, A Hair Grows in Manhattan premiered in theaters on this date 75 years ago today. So there we go with that one. And also, I would like to actually wish a happy 60th birthday to Viano number 5, part of the famous Viano family. I'd like to wish him a happy. Many of you might remember him teaming with Viano's 3 and 4, or in this case, Viano 5 or Viano King. So King say, depending upon um, or Cinco. I'm sorry, Viano Cinco, Viano Cinco, depending upon how you like to. So as you might remember him from his time in WCW as part of Los Vianos, Vianos Tres Cuatro Cinco. Um, so I'd like to wish Viano Cinco, Viano 5 a happy 60th birthday. So there we go with that one. All right. And now moving on to the next piece in each history today. On this date in 2006, which was 16 years ago today, Hot Girl number 50 went on sale from DC Comics on this date. It sold for $2.50 and had the story is called Dead of Night, written by Walter Simonson. So on this date in 2006, Hot Girl number 50 went on sale on this date 16 years ago today. So there we go with that one. And then, now with all that being said, one more piece in each history to do. As on this date in 2012, the anime series Tante Opera Milky Holmes Act 2 finished its run on Tokyo MK on this date in 2012. So 10 years ago today, the anime Tante Opera Milky Holmes Act 2 finished its run on this date. So there you go. So there we have all the niche history tonight. Thank everybody for being here. I thank everybody for all the likes and shares. Looks like we did have a good group of people in for a while at least. And we'll hopefully be back tomorrow at our normal time of 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, bye. Oh, wait. Before I go, sorry. Don't forget this Friday, of course, our historical comic retrospect where Batco and I will be concluding our look at November 1938. So, anyways,